I've got Lisa Barry. She's here for the Funnelcraft. Lisa, I'm so excited. You are being part of this revolutionary event.
I'm very, very honoured to be part of this. When you messaged and asked me, I was like, I'm in. Get the bells. Get them ringing. I'm in with bells. I'm on it. Fantastic.
Brilliant, because we need to turn events on their head, don't we? We all need to get out there and, try and meet more people if we can. If you can't, folks, we do have virtual tickets, but if we can meet people at some events, because you get more compassion, you get more mission-led content, so to speak, because we're more vulnerable when we meet people and we're sitting next to each other having a coffee. We get to meet the real people, and I think then we don't make assumptions about what the business world needs or what our audience needs.
That's
true. It makes sense, doesn't it?
It as well in terms of so I think of it in terms of co-regulation as well, like actually just being around people and co-regulating with them and getting that sense of like our brains are literally like syncing up, like energetically, physically, emotionally, like we're in the same room, we're part of that same space, and I love that. Yet at the same time, I find it incredibly difficult. That's why when you messaged me and said about this, I'm like, I know that whatever Kate is doing, I know that I will be that anything that might be challenging about events for me will be taken care of. Will be a way of thinking differently about things. And so much value we get from it, and yet a lot of us do find it really difficult to physically access these events. And I haven't been to one myself as a participant. I haven't been for years, so a good couple of years. So this is like I really feel and need. I know, like in my bones, I need to be around people more. I work so much online, and this just felt like the perfect door to open, held open by Kate.
Well, it's reciprocal. The thing is, you held the door open for me when I did a switcheroo. I'd been online for quite some time, and then I did a switch, and I came back in online, and there were you with your open door. And so you were one of the first people's world that I came into, and I've never felt so embraced, understood, and it was just the most marvelous experience. And that's why I want people at this event, because there are so many more people out there online now, and most of them are amazing people. But how do we know that? How do we navigate that? And so I just thought, if I can have a collection of my favoritist people ever around me, right? People who do know me will know that all the speakers at the event are going to be nice, good people, and we can all share the love. I just think it's important.
You've attracted people to you who are in alignment with you, and so when you create an event, you know that the people that you're inviting are in alignment with you, and then those people that they know, their network, are going to be in alignment, and it's like this it's
a ripple effect, because I mean, I knew about writing, and I've loved writing, but when I very first met you just shifted the perspective of and made, we went deeper, and it's stayed with me ever since. It's always there.
I've just been creating right now, like it's supposed to be like a quick and easy workbok to go through myself, and I was like, but I find it really difficult. Like 89 pages later, I was like, oh, it's going to be deep. I can't avoid the deep. Like, if I'm going to do something, we've got to go deep. It's just got to be done.
And the beauty of you being at the event is that you are going to, in the time that you have to speak, I know that you're not going to just stand there and just talk at the audience. You'll be able to go deep. It's a knack. It's a gift. You know what I mean? You know exactly how to pinpoint down to be able to inspire and shift perspectives, and that's what this is all about. It's about Funnelcraft is about craft. The word craft. We need funnels, to coin that phrase, because we're all you know what that all
Business
is now.
process, it's got to be done. It's a
It's a
process.
customer journey,
Yeah.
right? We are creating customer journeys that we want to be on ourselves. And it's about nurture, respect, understanding, compassion.
Mm.
It's about mission led content. Hmm?
You've got that right. That's straight away.
I mean, that's, yeah. And so I think we've got some amazing speakers all talking about specific uh, topics. Now, a lot of people are, business owners, you've got groups, you become a bit of an expert in bits and bobs of everything. That's great. And I wanted everyone to come in purely with their hardcore specialism, because that is what, well, that's what drives you. That's what drives my other speakers. It's what drives me. And I think that's how we're going to give more value, aren't we, to everybody that turns up.
Yeah, I mean, that whole thing with mission led content with me, I've thought many times about widening that scope and going further into like business coaching and things like that. But it's the words for me. It comes
Yeah,
back to like, what do we say? How
yeah,
do we say it? Who are we saying it to? Why are we saying it? Like the language that we use to describe our business, to describe to reach out, to connect to our ideal client, the language that we use in that customer journey from the moment they find us to the moment that they're, like our raving cheerleaders who are, on the sidelines, already done all our programs, bought everything from us and want to just tell everyone about us. That journey from people to go from one place to another, that has, you've taken them through that journey using language, using
yeah,
words. It's fundamental in the process, fundamental to us as human beings. And some people find language easier than others, but for me, I just really love digging deep on it, because it's just fundamental to it all. And so yeah, that's my specialism, and that's, I'm going to be getting straight away, making sure that people have, like, by the end of, what is it, 20 minutes? By the end of 20 minutes, people in that
yeah,
room will have words to use, clarity on the words that they want to use to drive their funnel, to drive their business, and to drive their mission, and have
yeah.
literally physically written down words that they can
Yeah.
activate immediately.
And they can, because if you think about the messaging that we've had all through our lives, before I got my ADHD diagnosis, I was always told too much, too this, too that, whatever, all the messaging. And there is a hardcore example of, well, actually, I was told all this stuff and it is not true, but I believed it. And therefore, I'm now struggling with managing that and discarding those assumptions, those beliefs. And it's the same thing with the language that we use when we want to, create customers, when we want to make sales. It's what we have seen and what we've known doesn't necessarily mean is true for
No.
us. And
Yeah.
that is what I think is important.
That's very, very true. Yeah, it's our own unique, it's the unique relationship between us and our audience. And it's that
Yeah.
I often use examples of, like, I do this a lot. If this was a Venn diagram, like, so it's like you and your audience, like, what's those connection points? What's the thing that brings you together? And when you talk about language, of the language you were given, that was given to you, around what would have been perceived as failings. And, when people are
Yes.
uncomfortable with labels, and I think, well, you're quick enough to label people otherwise, aren't you? Quick enough to label, you might not want to put an ADHD, an autism, or any other sort of neurodivergent label on someone, but you're quick enough to call someone lazy or
Yes.
disorganized, or not
Yes.
good enough. Those too chatty. That's what I used to get. Now I get paid to talk for a living, so
Yeah.
there we
How,
go.
how?
Yeah, and my neurodivergence, the way that I'm able to go deep really quickly, the way where all of those things come from that
Yeah.
from neurodivergent power. But yeah, the whole thing of, like, reimagining what language is for you in your business, looking at,
Yeah.
like, going right back to what you said about looking at things from a different perspective,
Yeah.
understanding the power of it and how you can use it and really leverage it in a way that, like, AI can do loads of shit for you these days. I
Of course
love
it can. We can
AI.
use it. Yeah, me
Yeah, and
too.
I'm
Love it.
I'm
Love
not
it.
adverse to it whatsoever. I'm not very good at it, but I'm not adverse to it. However, it's the personal journey that you go on. Even if you're using AI, you need the right things to put into it. You need to have the clarity around the words, the language, the problems that you're solving, the position they're
Yes.
at. Where are they in their journey? What do they need to hear right now? What do they need to
Yeah.
know right now? You need to have all that information first. And understanding this and looking at those Venn diagrams, at those connection points, is how we actually can enjoy, like, it's an enjoyable process. I think mission-led
Yes.
content is where, like, personal development and content writing come together. That's kind of, I always, people tell me about how it's a revolutionary experience, or no, not revolutionary, sorry, like an enlightening experience, like a real clarity finding
Yeah.
experience, because going through it allows them to get super clear, super deep, super, like, laser focused on what they want to say,
Yes.
who they want to say it, and why they want to say it. And that is what we need in funnels, because that's what there
Yeah.
needs to be, that laser focus through the funnel.
Yeah. And as simply as possible, because we can all go spend so long on the complexities of it all that we actually forget the obvious, and that's what I'm really excited for you to bring to Funnelcraft. Lisa, this has been a really great insight into what you're going to be talking to us about in Funnelcraft. I'm so very excited. Can't wait. Well, I can't wait. I'm not going to wish life away, because
No,
actually the
I
journey
know. I
between,
do that all the time. Oh, it's only so many. How many more sleeps, Kate? How many more sleeps? Till
well,
I
the
can
journey
leave
between
my
now and
house
then.
and see people in real life.
Yeah, no, this is really, really exciting. Oh, thank you so much for
You're
being part
so
of the
welcome.
Funnelcraft speaker list. This is just phenomenal. I'm really honoured that we obviously had the right words between us over the years, because here we are.
Here we are. And it has been
And
some years, hasn't it? It has
living
been.
proof,
Yeah. Mission
living
and
proof.
content works. Absolutely. And funnels work, because you came through me in one of my funnels. So
There
yeah,
we
here we
go.
are. There we are. Perfect. Thank you so
Brilliant.
much,
Well,
Kate. Genuinely, like, this is how you're reinventing and reimagining what events can look like for people who are neurodivergent, or who may find events less effective, less useful, anxiety inducing, and all the rest of it. What you're doing is what needs to be. It's a true inclusive experience, and I'm really, really happy to
thank
be
you.
part of
Oh, thank you so much. Because, for people who want to just take a chance and step out, hopefully this is going to be an in-person experience that they will give them feel positive about. They'll feel safe, secure, and then hopefully that opens some
it.
doors to
Safety.
going forward. It's about that, because you don't have to go to events if you're running an online business, but actually, as we've said, it's going to make a big difference. And I have days when I think, oh, I've got this arranged, I've got that arranged, and I don't want to do it. But I actually am in a different place now, because I'm a business owner, and I have to. And that will override. And actually, that will override more than it perhaps used to. Before, I didn't have to do it so much. Now I have to. And I actually put more effort into it. And I get more rewards from that. Even though maybe the next day I'm absolutely tired and whacked out, it's worth it in the end of the
And there's
day.
there's a level of compassion as well, isn't there? And when you understand your needs and what the sort of the payback is, which may be a day in bed the next day. Like,
Yeah.
I'll certainly be planning that. There's no doubt about it. But that's quite like planning days in bed anyway.
Brilliant. And if you can't get there in person, we luckily have virtual tickets. So if you are wanting to watch the event in bed, you can.
Yeah,
See, I've thought of it. I've thought of everything.
not everything. Everyone's catered for. Fantastic.
Brilliant. Right. Well, see everybody. See you all there.
See you then. Thank you.